I'm standing in my parents' living room, and something feels wrong. The air is thick with a tension I can't quite name yet. Mom and Dad sit on the couch like they're posing for a funeral portrait. Backs rigid, hands folded. Tatum perches on the ottoman, dabbing at her eyes with a crumpled tissue even though her mascara looks perfect. Garrett leans against the wall near the window, arms crossed, radiating the kind of confidence that comes from never having to face real consequences. "Thanks for coming on such short notice, sweetheart," Mom says. Her voice has that careful smoothness she uses when she's about to ask for something big. I lower myself into the armchair across from them, my work bag still on my shoulder. "You said it was urgent." Dad clears his throat but doesn't meet my eyes. That's the first real warning sign. My father has looked me in the eye through every difficult conversation we've ever had, from the sex talk to the time I wrecked his truck at 17. But not today. Mom straightens her spine. "Tatum and Garrett are losing the house." The words hit me like cold water. I blink, processing, while Tatum's tissue rises to her face again. "The bank gave us 30 days. Garrett adds, his tone almost casual, like he's discussing a delayed package delivery instead of complete financial collapse. I look at my sister. She won't look back. "We've already helped as much as we can," Mom continues. "We took $40,000 from our $401K last month." My stomach drops. $40,000. Their retirement cushion, the one Dad spent 30 years building, gone. "We need you to cover the rest," Mom says. $85,000. The number hangs in the air between us. I feel my ears start to ring, just slightly, like someone turned up the volume on a sound only I can hear. The room tilts, just a degree or two, enough to make me grip the armrest. $85,000. I repeat. "I know it's a lot," Mom says, and there's something in her voice that makes my chest tighten. Not apology, expectation, but family takes care of family. I glance at Dad again. He's studying the carpet like it contains the secrets of the universe. "I wanted to use the lake house as collateral," he says quietly. "But my credit?" He trails off, and I know without him saying it. The co-signed loan for Tatum 3 years ago, the one that destroyed his score when she defaulted. My gaze drifts across the coffee table, and that's when I see it. Tatum's handbag. Not just any handbag. A Valentino Garavani, cream leather with gold hardware. I know because a partner at my firm carries the same one. Retail price, $3,000. My eyes move to her hands, still clutching that tissue. Fresh manicure. Gel polish, intricate nail art. $60 minimum. Probably more. Then Garrett's key fob on the side table, catching the afternoon light. Ford Raptor logo gleaming. I know that truck. I've seen it in their driveway. Fully loaded, easily $70,000, and he leases it. The ringing in my ears gets louder. "When did you buy that bag?" The question comes out before I can stop it. Tatum's eyes widen. "What?" "The Valentino. When did you buy it?" She looks at Mom, then Garrett. "It was a gift. For my birthday." "Your birthday was 2 months ago." I keep my voice level. Professional. The same tone I use when I'm reviewing financial statements and the numbers don't add up. 2 months ago, and you were already behind on the mortgage? Garrett pushes off the wall. "Look, we had some unexpected expenses." "What kind of expenses?" The room goes quiet. Mom's jaw tightens. I can see her recalculating, realizing this isn't going according to script. Something shifts inside me, like a lock clicking open. I think about the 4th of July barbecue when I was 17. All the aunts and uncles gathered around the picnic table while I picked up empty beer cans and paper plates. Mom's voice carrying across the yard. "Tatum is the star who needs a stage. Kylie? She's the foundation. She'll always be there to hold everything up when it falls." Everyone had laughed. I'd laughed too, because that's what you do when your role is assigned in front of 20 people. You smile and you pick up the trash, and you hold everything up. I'm 32 years old, and I'm still picking up trash. My hands start to tremble, so I press them flat against my thighs. I need full access to every bank account and credit card statement before I transfer anything. Mom's face goes blank with shock. This wasn't in the script. "Excuse me?" Tatum's voice pitches up. "You don't trust your own sister?" "I trust data." My voice surprises me with its steadiness. "No access, no money." Garrett steps forward, his expression shifting into what I recognize as his explaining to the simple woman face. "Kylie, I think you're misunderstanding the situation. This is about family, not some corporate audit. I'm a forensic accountant. I stand, and he actually takes a step back. I audit corporations for a living. If you want $85,000 of my money, I audit you first. Honey, Mom starts, but I'm already moving toward the door. Send me the login credentials for everything. Bank accounts, credit cards, investment accounts. Everything. I pause with my hand on the doorknob. Or the bank forecloses, and you figure it out yourselves. I walk out before anyone can respond, before Mom can deploy the guilt, before Tatum can cry real tears, before Garrett can mansplain finance to someone who makes twice his annual income. My car feels like a sanctuary. I grip the steering wheel, knuckles white, and just breathe for a moment. My whole body is shaking now, adrenaline flooding my system. But underneath the fear, underneath the lifetime of conditioning that screams at me to go back inside and apologize and write the check like a good daughter, there's something else. Something that feels dangerously close to freedom. I call Mom the next morning, coffee in hand, staring at the city skyline through my kitchen window. My voice comes out soft, compliant. Exactly what she expects to hear. Mom, I want to help. The words taste like copper. I just need the login credentials to structure this properly. Minimize tax implications for everyone. There's a pause. I can practically hear her recalculating, deciding whether to trust this sudden cooperation. Of course, sweetheart. Relief floods her voice. Victory. I'll text everything over right now. Thanks, Mom. I hang up before she can say anything else, before the performance cracks. Ezra watches me from the doorway, mug in hand. He's seen this before. The shift. The way my shoulders square and my jaw sets. He calls it my forensic accountant mode. You okay? He asks. I will be. My phone buzzes. A text from Mom. Screenshots of login credentials, passwords, security questions. Everything laid out like a gift, because she thinks she's won. I settle at the dining table, laptop open, legal pad ready. Ezra sits across from me, quiet support. The first account loads, joint checking for Tatum and Garrett. 3 hours disappear. The spreadsheet grows with each transaction I flag. My handwriting gets smaller, tighter, more controlled as the evidence mounts. Cabo San Lucas Resort and Spa. $12,000. 3 months ago. The same month their mortgage payment bounced. I pull up Garrett's freelance tax return from last year. There it is, buried in Schedule C deductions. Business conference. The IRS would have a field day with this one. Ezra. My voice sounds hollow. Look at this. He leans over, reads the screen. His face hardens. They went to Cabo while they were defaulting on their mortgage. It gets worse. I open another tab. Crypto Futures LLC, a company that no longer exists, according to a quick search. $30,000, transferred in 3 separate chunks over 2 months. All from their joint account. All losses. Did Tatum know? Ezra asks. I scroll through her individual credit card statements. Designer purchases, spa treatments, subscription boxes. Nothing about crypto, nothing about investment losses. I don't think so. But that almost makes it worse. Garrett gambling away $30,000 in secret, while Tatum maxed out credit cards on handbags. The pattern becomes clear as I work backward through 6 months of statements. Minimum payments on everything, late fees stacking up, interest compounding, and yet, $5,000 at Nordstrom, $4,000 at Sephora, $3,000 for new living room furniture. They were spending like people who'd already won the lottery, not people drowning in debt. I close the tab, the glow of the screen stinging my tired eyes. The evidence is irrefutable. The Cabo trip, the crypto, the lies. They're not just bad with money, I say, my voice trembling slightly. They're lying to everyone, including each other. Ezra looks up from his laptop, where he's been researching secured loan agreements at my request. I want to drive over there right now. No. Kylie. No. I close the laptop, stand up, walk to the window. The printouts are spread across the dining table behind me, a paper trail of systemic exploitation. I'm not confronting them until I have legal leverage. What are you thinking? I turn back to face him. The morning light makes the spreadsheet numbers almost glow. This isn't a rescue. This is a hostile takeover of my bank account. The clarity feels sharp, clean, like a surgical blade. They've already burned through Mom and Dad's retirement. I'm next. And if I write this check, there will be another emergency in 6 months. And another. They'll bleed me dry. Ezra crosses his arms. So what's the play? I'm not saving them. The words feel good. True. I'm restructuring them. He nods slowly. You need a lawyer. I need collateral. I pick up my phone, start typing notes. Secured loan. Real consequences for default. Something that makes them think twice before buying another handbag while they're behind on payments. Your parents' lake house. I meet his eyes. He knows what that property means to my family. Summer weekends, 4th of July barbecues, the dock where Dad taught me to fish. It's the one asset they have left that matters. Yeah. Your mom will lose her mind. My mom took $40,000 from their 401k without asking me first. I sit back down, pull the laptop toward me. She made her choice. I'm making mine. She made... Ezra reaches across the table, covers my hand with his. You're not being cruel. You're being sane. Something in my chest loosens slightly. Permission I didn't know I needed. I know. But my stomach still churns. My hands still shake when I think about actually presenting these terms. 32 years of conditioning don't disappear in a weekend. I spend the rest of the afternoon researching loan structures, default clauses, collateral requirements. Ezra makes dinner. I barely taste it. At midnight, I'm still at the table, drafting terms. 8% interest, monthly payments, 30-day default trigger, the lake house deed held in escrow. My phone sits face down beside my laptop. 6 missed calls from Mom, 4 texts from Tatum. I don't respond. Ezra appears with chamomile tea. You should sleep. Soon. He kisses the top of my head. I'll go with you. When you do this. Whatever you need. I need to do it alone. Okay. He doesn't argue, just squeezes my shoulder and heads to bed. I save the document, close the laptop, stare at my reflection in the darkened window. The foundation they built their expectations on is shifting. They just don't know it yet. The Facebook notification pops up on my phone Tuesday morning while I'm reviewing quarterly statements at my desk. Mom has posted a photo. I click it, and my chest tightens. It's from 5 years ago, the summer barbecue at the lake house. All of us squeezed onto the dock, faces sunburned and smiling. Dad's arm around Mom's shoulders. Tatum and me flanking them, looking like the picture of sisterhood. The caption reads, "Family sticks together through everything. Family first." She's tagged me, publicly. My phone buzzes, a text from cousin Rachel, who I haven't spoken to in 3 years. Your mom said you're helping Tatum. That's so generous. Another buzz. Aunt Linda. Family is everything. So proud of you. I set the phone face down and force myself to breathe. 47 comments already. She's mobilizing the extended family, painting me as the hero before I've agreed to anything. Creating a narrative where saying no makes me the villain. My phone rings. Garrett's number. I consider letting it go to voicemail, but something stops me. Know your enemy. Document everything. Kylie! Hey, glad I caught you. His voice has that aggressive cheerfulness salespeople use. Listen, I've been thinking about your situation, and I want to help you understand the investment opportunity here. I pull up a blank document on my computer and start typing. Timestamp. 10:47 a.m. Go on. So, the crypto thing. I know it looks bad on paper, but you have to understand market cycles. Bitcoin's just in a dip right now. If you were to invest with me, say 50,000, I could easily double that in 6 months, maybe triple it. I type his exact words. You're suggesting I give you $50,000 to invest in cryptocurrency. Not give. Invest. Big difference. He laughs like we're sharing a joke. I've got connections in the space. I know when to buy low. The same connections that lost you $30,000? Silence, just for a beat. That was a different situation. He says, smooth again. Learning experience. But hey, if you're not interested in growing your wealth, no pressure, just thought I'd offer. Thanks for the offer, I say. My voice could freeze water. I'll keep it in mind. I hang up and save the document, evidence folder growing. My hands are completely steady. At 3 o'clock, I present findings to the audit committee. $7 million discrepancy in a pharmaceutical company's R&D spending. I walk them through my analysis, fielding aggressive questions from their legal team, never breaking composure. When I return to my desk, I realize something. If I can stare down lawyers defending corporate fraud, I can handle my sister's tantrum. Thursday evening, I'm folding laundry when the doorbell rings. Through the window, I see Tatum on my porch. She's wearing Lululemon from head to toe, hair blown out in perfect waves, the picture of someone who doesn't have a care in the world. I open the door. Hey! She breezes past me without waiting for invitation. I was in the neighborhood, thought I'd stop by. My neighborhood is 40 minutes from hers. She wasn't just passing through. Want some coffee? I ask. No, I'm doing this whole no caffeine thing. She settles onto my couch, tucking her legs under her like this is her house. So, I wanted to talk about Sunday. I sit in the armchair across from her. Wait, Mom's really stressed. She continues. Like, really stressed. And I know you're mad about the whole money thing, but you have to understand. Mom and Dad have sacrificed everything for us. Everything. The word lands like a slap. Sacrificed. Something flashes through my mind. Sitting in Dr. Morrison's office when I was 14, my jaw aching. Metal expander they'd installed 6 months earlier, pressing my teeth apart. He'd taken new x-rays, studied them, shaken his head. The crowding is getting worse, he'd said. We need to move forward with braces. Sooner rather than later. Mom and Dad in the hallway afterward, their voices low, but I'd heard anyway. $4,200. We just don't have it right now, sweetie. I'd worn that expander for another year, metal digging into my palate, headaches every night, smiling with my mouth closed in every school photo. 2 months after that appointment, Tatum had come home with forms for elite cheer camp. 2 weeks in Colorado, specialized coaching, Olympic choreographers. It could really take my career to the next level, she'd said. She was 12. The camp cost $4,200. Exactly. Mom had written the check the same day. I'd gotten braces at 22, paid for Invisalign myself. Wore them for 18 months, every day a reminder of whose potential mattered. Kylie? Tatum waves her hand. You're spacing out. I blink back to the present. She's staring at me, impatient. Sorry. You were saying? I was saying Mom and Dad gave up everything, and now you're making this so hard. Why? Her voice pitches up, tears gathering. Don't you care about family potential? The word again, potential. I want to ask her what my potential was worth. I want to ask her if she remembers the braces she never noticed I didn't have. I want to scream that her potential has cost me everything from my teeth to my sanity, but I don't. Because if I explode now, if I show her exactly how much I remember and how much I've calculated, she'll run straight to Mom. They'll regroup. They'll find new angles, new pressure points. I need her to think I'm still the foundation. Stable. Dependable. Something that can be walked on. I know exactly what potential costs in this family, Tatum. My voice is quiet, even. I'll see you Sunday. She blinks, thrown by my tone. What's that supposed to mean? It means I'll see you Sunday. Her tears appear on cue. You're being so cold. This isn't like you. I don't respond. She tries again, voice cracking. Kylie, please. We're losing everything. Still nothing from me. Her tears dry up fast. Anger replaces them. You know what? Maybe Mom was right. Maybe you do think you're better than us now. Sunday, 2 o'clock. I stand, walk to the door, open it. She stares at me like I'm a stranger, then grabs her purse and storms out, heels clicking hard on my walkway. Through the window, I watch her get in her car. She's already texting before she pulls away, reporting back to headquarters. I'm sure. Kylie's acting weird. Kylie's cold. Kylie's not responding to the usual buttons. Good. I close the door and lean against it. My heart hammers, but not from fear. From something else. Something that feels like power. When Ezra gets home an hour later, he finds me on the couch with a glass of wine, staring at nothing. Rough day? He sits next to me. Tatum stopped by. His jaw tightens. And? I tell him about the visit, about her performance, about the memory I didn't share. You know they're going to escalate, right? He says when I finish. Let them. I take a sip of wine. I've seen their finances. Every card they're holding. They're playing poker. and I can see their hand reflected in the window behind them. So what's your move? Sunday, I give them exactly what they asked for. I turn to look at him, just not in the form they expected. He studies my face. You have a plan. I have a complete financial picture they don't know I possess. I smile, and it feels cold even to me. I have the capital to buy their debt and their obedience. Kylie. They think I'm the foundation. I set down my wine glass. Foundations don't bend, Ezra. They crack everything built on top of them. My phone buzzes on the coffee table. Mom calling. I let it go to voicemail. Watch it ring until it stops. Then I pick it up, open my notes app, and start typing. Loan terms non-negotiable. Ezra reads over my shoulder as I write. He doesn't try to stop me. Friday morning, I sit at my kitchen table with my laptop open and a cup of coffee going cold beside me. The cursor blinks in the empty email draft, like a metronome counting down to something inevitable. Ezra leans against the counter, watching me. You sure about this? They need to think they won. My fingers hover over the keyboard. If they suspect I'm setting a trap, they'll lawyer up or run. I type carefully, choosing each word like I'm defusing a bomb. I've liquidated some assets. I will be there Sunday at 2 p.m. with the solution, vague enough to sound defeated, specific enough to lock them into a timeline. That's it? Ezra reads over my shoulder. No explanation? Explanations give them room to argue. I add Mom, Dad, Tatum, and Garrett to the recipient line. This sounds like surrender. That's what they're expecting. My finger hovers over the send button. Once this goes out, there's no turning back. They'll celebrate. They'll spend money they don't have, and I'll document every cent. I click send. The email whooshes away, and something settles in my chest. Not peace exactly. More like the calm before controlled demolition. Phase 1 complete. I close the laptop. Now I wait for them to hang themselves. 20 minutes later, I'm in my car heading to the office when my phone rings. Mom's name lights up the screen. Right on schedule. She couldn't even wait an hour. I let it ring 3 times before answering. Can't sound too eager. Hi, Mom. Kylie, sweetheart. Her voice drips with relief. I got your email. I make my voice soft, apologetic. The daughter she wants me to be. I've been thinking about what you said. About family. I knew you'd come around. There it is. That smug satisfaction like she's won a game I didn't know we were playing. Your father and I raised you right. My jaw clenches, but I keep my tone gentle. Family is family. I'll help. Sunday at 2? Sunday at 2. I'll bring everything. The silence on her end feels different now. Victorious. She thinks she's broken me. Thinks I've finally accepted my role as the foundation that holds up everyone else's mess. We're so proud of you, honey, she says, and I have to swallow the bitter laugh building in my throat. See you Sunday, Mom. I hang up before she can say anything else. My hands are steady on the steering wheel, but my heart pounds with something that feels dangerously close to rage. By lunch, the family group chat explodes. I'm not on it anymore. Haven't been since I asked for their financial records, but I know it's happening. I can feel it in the air, like static before lightning. What I don't know is that Mom types exactly what I predicted. She's bringing the money Sunday. Tatum responds with 4 champagne emojis and a party popper. Garrett's message is simple. Knew she'd fold eventually. But I do know this. They haven't changed a single password. Not one. They think I got what I needed last week and moved on. They have no idea I'm still watching. That evening, I'm making dinner when the notification pops up on my phone. Garrett's credit card. The one linked to the app I still have access to. My pulse quickens as I open it. $400. Blackstone Steakhouse. Party of 4. Processed 17 minutes ago. I set down the knife I'm using to chop vegetables and stare at the screen. They're celebrating. Right now. Probably toasting to family and responsibility and whatever other lies they tell themselves. Ezra comes up behind me, sees my face. What is it? I turn the phone toward him. They're spending money they don't have because they think my check clears Monday. He reads the transaction, and his expression darkens. $400 for dinner when they're 30 days from foreclosure. To them, it's a victory lap. I screenshot the charge, save it to my evidence folder. To me, it's Exhibit C. Saturday morning brings another notification. $350. Wave Rider Jet Ski Rentals. Deposit for next weekend. I'm sitting on my back deck when it comes through, and I actually laugh. The sound surprises me, sharp and cold in the spring air. They just spent $750 in 18 hours, I say to Ezra, who's reading the newspaper beside me. On celebration, on assumption. That's sociopathic. He puts down the paper. They have no concept of consequence. They've never had to have one. I add the jet ski receipt to my folder. Every time they've been reckless, someone saved them. Dad, Mom's 401k, now me. Except you're not saving them this time. No, the word comes out harder than I intended. I'm restructuring them. He reaches over, takes my hand. You okay? Am I? I think about that question while I watch a cardinal land on the fence. 24 hours ago, I sent an email designed to manipulate my own family. Now I'm documenting their spending like a detective building a case. None of this feels like something a good daughter would do. But good daughters get bled dry by people who love the foundation more than the person. They just spent $750 they don't have because they assume I'm bailing them out. I say finally, that's all the confirmation I need. Saturday evening, I sit at my dining table with everything spread out before me. The 3-ring binder Ezra bought me yesterday sits in the center, navy leather with gold corners, professional, serious. Tab 1, financial evidence. Every transaction, every lie printed and highlighted. The Cabo trip, the crypto loss, the designer handbag, and now, the steak dinner and the jet skis. A timeline of irresponsibility that would make any auditor weep. Tab 2, loan terms. The document my attorney reviewed yesterday, the one with what she called the chokehold clause. 8% annual interest, above market rate but not usurious. The parents' lake house in escrow as collateral, and the nuclear option buried in Section 7, 30 days late equals automatic deed transfer. No court, no appeal, just done. Tab 3, the quitclaim deed, pre-drafted and ready for signatures. I review the terms one final time, my professional brain checking for loopholes they might exploit. The Ford Raptor must be sold within 60 days, proceeds applied to principal. Tatum must accept the receptionist position I arranged through a colleague. Full-time, no exceptions. Let them enjoy the steak dinner. I murmur, closing the binder. It's the last one I'm paying for. Sunday morning arrives with perfect weather. Sunny, 72 degrees, not a cloud in sight. The kind of day that makes you think good things are possible. I dress in my charcoal power suit, the one I wear for difficult client meetings. White blouse, minimal jewelry, low heels. I look like what I am, someone who means business. Ezra offers to come for the 3rd time. You shouldn't face them alone. This is something I need to do alone. I pick up the leather portfolio, feel its weight. They need to see that I'm not the foundation anymore. I'm the architect. The drive to my parents' house takes 20 minutes. I play Vivaldi, letting the precise mathematical beauty of Baroque music steady my nerves. My breathing stays even, controlled. When I pull into the driveway, Garrett's Ford Raptor gleams in the sun, freshly washed. I park behind it and think, enjoy it while it lasts. 30 days until it goes on the market. 60 days until someone else is making the payments. Through the living room window, I can see them gathered, the same configuration as 2 weeks ago, when this all started. Mom and Dad on the couch. Tatum on the ottoman, Garrett by the window, but their postures are different now. Relaxed, confident. Mom is laughing at something Dad said. Tatum scrolls through her phone, probably already planning how to spend money that isn't hers. Garrett leans back with his arms behind his head, the universal pose of someone who thinks they've won. They have no idea what's coming. I pick up the portfolio, check my reflection in the rearview mirror. My face is neutral, professional, unreadable. The face I've spent 12 years perfecting in conference rooms and depositions. I walk to the front door. Through the glass, I see Mom notice me, see her face light up with that welcoming smile. The doorbell echoes through the house. The door opens. Mom's smile is wide, genuine, relieved. Come in, sweetheart. We're so glad you're here. I step across the threshold, portfolio in hand, and the trap clicks shut behind me. The living room looks exactly the same as it did 2 weeks ago. Same beige couch with the faded floral pattern. Same coffee table with the water ring Dad never got around to fixing. Same family photos arranged on the mantel, frozen moments of a version of us that maybe never existed. Mom and Dad sit on the couch in the exact positions they occupied during that first meeting. Tatum's on the ottoman again, but this time she's not bothering with the tissue. Her posture is relaxed, confident. Garrett stands by the window, and I can see his reflection in the glass. He's smiling. They think they've won. "Coffee, sweetheart?" Mom asks, already half standing. "No, thank you." I set the leather portfolio on the coffee table with a soft thud that somehow fills the entire room. Mom settles back down, glancing at the portfolio like it might contain a large check. Which, in a way, I suppose they think it does. I take the armchair across from them, the same one I sat in 2 weeks ago, when my hands were shaking and my throat was tight with the effort of not crying. My hands are steady now. My throat is clear. "Before we proceed," I say, "I want to show you something." I open the portfolio and remove the first document. Bank statement, printed on heavyweight paper, my name at the top in bold letters. I slide it across the coffee table. Tatum leans forward. Her eyes go wide. $1.2 million, I say, watching her face. Net worth. I wanted you to understand that I can help. The question has always been, on what terms? Mom's expression shifts into something that looks like satisfaction, maybe even vindication. See? This is what happens when you're responsible. This is what the foundation is supposed to do. Garrett leans in too, and I can practically see the calculator running behind his eyes. Dollar signs reflected in his pupils. "Jesus, Kylie," he says. "I had no idea you were sitting on that kind of capital. We could really leverage this into something." I'm not finished. My voice cuts through his, sharp and clean. He stops mid-sentence. I pull out the second document. Transaction history. 3 pages stapled together. Certain entries highlighted in yellow. I slide it across the table next to the bank statement. $12,000. Cabo Resort. 3 months ago. Silence drops like a brick. $30,000. Crypto Futures LLC. Total loss. Hidden from everyone, including Tatum. Garrett's face goes pale. Tatum turns to look at him, confusion knitting her eyebrows together. $400. Blackstone Steakhouse, Friday night. $350. Wave Rider Jet Ski Rentals. Deposit. Yesterday. The air in the room changes. It gets heavier, harder to breathe. Nobody moves. You spent $12,000 on vacation while you were missing mortgage payments. My voice stays level, clinical. The same tone I use when I'm presenting findings to a board of directors. Garrett lost $30,000 in cryptocurrency and never told anyone. You spent $750 this weekend celebrating money you don't have yet. Now wait just a minute, Garrett starts, but I raise my hand. I'm not finished. He closes his mouth. I reach into the portfolio again. The loan agreement comes out next, printed on legal paper, every clause numbered and initialed by my attorney. $85,000. I say. Principal. 8% interest annually. Monthly payments of $1,450. Ah. Dad's face has gone gray. Mom's jaw tightens. Collateral. I continue. The lake house. Quitclaim deed to be signed and placed in escrow immediately. What? Mom's voice comes out strangled. If payment is more than 30 days late, ownership transfers to me automatically. No court proceedings necessary. I pull out the final documents. The deed, prepared by my attorney. 2 copies, both requiring signatures. Additionally, the Ford Raptor will be sold within 14 days, with proceeds applied directly to principal. Tatum will accept the receptionist position I've arranged at my firm. Salary $42,000 annually. She starts Tuesday. Tatum makes a sound that's somewhere between a gasp and a sob. This is extortion. Mom's face has gone red, her voice rising. You can't do this. No. I meet her eyes and don't blink. Extortion is draining your parents' retirement fund, then demanding your sister fund your lifestyle. This is a secured loan with market rate interest and appropriate collateral. Sign it or don't. Those are your options. You can't take Mom and Dad's house. Tatum's voice cracks, and these tears look real. That's their home. I'm not taking it. I'm securing it. Make your payments. You keep the house. Miss a payment. The house becomes mine. I pause. Given your track record, I'd say the collateral is appropriate. Dad sits frozen, staring at the deed like it might burst into flames. His hands rest on his knees, fingers trembling. Your father and I raised you better than this. Mom's voice has that edge of desperation now, the one that used to make me immediately backtrack and apologize. You raised me to be the foundation. The words come out cold, each one deliberate. You told me that at the barbecue when I was 17. Remember? Tatum was the star. I was the foundation. Mom's face changes. Recognition, then something that might be shame, flickering across her features before hardening back into anger. Foundations are cold, hard, and immovable. I continue. They hold everything up. You wanted a foundation? I lean forward. Here I am. I push the deed and pen across the table. The pen rolls slightly, coming to rest against the paper with a soft click. Sign, or the bank forecloses tomorrow, and I buy a boat with my $85,000. The seconds stretch out. 5 of them, maybe more. Garrett looks at Tatum. Tatum looks at Mom. Mom looks at Dad. Nobody has a counteroffer. Nobody has leverage. Nobody has another option. Dad picks up the pen first. His hand shakes so badly I can hear the pen scratching across the paper. He signs both copies, then sets the pen down like it weighs 50 pounds. Mom takes longer. She stares at the document, her jaw working, probably running through every possible alternative and finding none. Finally, her hand moves. The signature is tight, angry, each letter pressed hard into the paper. I collect the documents and slide them back into the portfolio. Every page, every signature, every clause that binds them to me instead of the other way around. Payment schedule starts next month. First payment due on the 1st. Don't be late. I stand and smooth my jacket. One more thing. Tatum, your interview is Tuesday at 9 a.m. The address is in your email. Don't miss it. I walk to the door. Nobody tries to stop me. Nobody says a word. My car is still warm from the drive over. I sit in the driver's seat, both hands on the steering wheel, and just breathe. In through my nose, out through my mouth. My chest feels tight, but not from panic, from relief. I pull out my phone and text Ezra. 2 words. It's done. The radio comes on when I start the engine. Classical station. Something by Bach, precise and mathematical and perfect. I drive home through the late afternoon sun, and somewhere between my parents' driveway and my own, the tightness in my chest finally releases. I don't need their approval anymore. I have their signatures. 6 months later, my dining room feels like it belongs to someone else. 8 friends sit around the table, voices layered over each other in the way that only happens when people feel safe. Wine glasses catch the overhead light. Ezra stands at the head, raising his tumbler with a grin that makes the corners of his eyes crinkle. To boundaries, he says. To chosen family. To living authentically. I lift my glass, and the chorus of agreement washes over me. These are people who earned their place here. My colleague Sarah, who stayed late 3 nights running when I was buried in depositions. Marcus and his husband, who threw me an impromptu celebration when my promotion came through. Not one of them has ever asked me to fix their financial disasters. The walls around us hold no family photos. I took those down in February. Now there are landscapes from the Colorado trip Ezra and I took in April. A sunset over the Pacific from our long weekend in San Diego. Travel memories that belong to us, not ghosts of obligation. Sarah refills her wine and laughs about her roommate drama. He keeps leaving dishes in the sink for days. I'm about to lose my mind. Marcus grins at me. Maybe he should move in with Kylie. She's got space. The joke hangs in the air for half a second. 6 months ago, that sentence would have sent ice through my veins. The memory of Tatum and Garrett, bags packed, standing in my parents' living room with expectant faces. Now I just laugh. The sound comes easy, no tightness in my chest. Never again. I learned that lesson thoroughly. Everyone chuckles, and the conversation rolls forward. No one knows how much weight that statement carries. No one needs to. Later, after the last guest leaves and Ezra loads the dishwasher, I tell him about the week. The promotion became official on Tuesday. Lead forensic auditor, my own division, my name on the door in brushed metal letters, $195,000 a year. You earned it, he says, wiping down the counter. I did. Not by holding anyone else up, by being excellent at what I do. The next morning, Sunday, I sit on the back deck with coffee and my journal. The city skyline stretches beyond the railing, buildings catching the early sun. My phone buzzes once against the wood table. Payment received. $1,450. I glance at the notification and delete it without opening the details. The Ford Raptor sold in March, and Tatum showed up to her receptionist job every morning at 8:45 for 6 months straight. The monthly payments draft automatically from their account on the 1st. They learned fast that 30 days late means the lake house deed transfers to me. No negotiation, no court. The coffee is still hot. I write in my journal, the pages filled with thoughts I'm finally brave enough to name. They called me the foundation for 17 years. Foundations hold everything up, but they're also what you build on top of, and eventually abandon when you move on. I'm not their foundation anymore. I'm my own architect. I look out at the view. The mortgage on this house is manageable. My retirement accounts are untouched. Ezra and I are planning a trip to Ireland next spring. None of this would exist if I'd written that check in April. The sliding door opens behind me. Ezra steps out with his own mug, kisses my temple without a word, and settles into the chair beside me. His hand finds mine on the armrest. We sit in silence, the kind that doesn't need filling. My phone stays face down on the table. Whatever messages might arrive today can wait. Probably nothing urgent anyway. Joyce's texts have become infrequent and transactional. Payment confirmed. Tatum received her schedule. Always polite, always distant. Exactly what I need. Inside the house, visible through the glass door, photos line the shelves. Friends at dinner parties. Ezra and me on hiking trails. My team at the firm, celebrating a major case win. Chosen, family. People who show up because they want to, not because they're extracting something. The sun climbs higher. Somewhere across the city, my parents are probably having breakfast. Tatum is likely sleeping in, resenting the alarm that will wake her for another week of work she feels is beneath her. Garrett is probably scheming his next big opportunity, the one that will finally pan out. I sip my coffee and feel nothing about any of it. The foundation they built their lives on cracked that Sunday in April. What I built in its place is mine, solid, immovable, designed exactly the way I wanted.